So I guess I'm finally getting what I've always wanted, which is the ability to learn more. And it's interesting that as you think of it throughout the day, you're saying
Everything you think of through the day, every time we think of anything that we spoke about, any class, any vart that you heard two people repeat, and you think about that during the day for 1 second, there's two things that are happening. Number one, you're learning. You're learning. You're being Mekayim the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. Because you're thinking about a Gemara. This classic example.
even in the bathroom.
Well, you shouldn't in the bathroom because that's, we want to elevate these thoughts, and the place of bathroom we know has lower energy vibrations. Good morning, Maya. The bathroom's a place of very low energy vibration, and Torah thoughts are very high energy vibrations. So we don't do them there. That's why we don't do it. No, you're not allowed. The bathroom, the act of, the Gemara says people, there's 3 ways that they're similar to an animal, and there are 3 ways that they're doima seyimah to a malach. Right? One of the things that
Great song.
that they're like animals
So we go to the bathroom.
is that we go to the bathroom.
Let's say on the floor in the shower, just trying to think. So it's a low place.
Again, bathroom, shower, merchetz. Merchetz has its own low energy vibration.
Really?
Yeah, merchetz has its own.
Yeah, we speak about not
We
doing
don't-
things at the.
At the merchetz, there's certain brachas. You cover. There's a being
Pastor Rebbe
that
says you're not supposed to speak.
not supposed to speak at all in the mikvah.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, because it's also a different type of vibrations going on there. So, but in general, what one of the first things I learned from Shia Friedman was Angezin. I have to call him.
Oh, mine.
One of the first
He's in
things.
the Oman already, probably.
I'm sure he's in the man already. One of the first things he taught me about this whole concept, he says, when you're sitting on the couch at night, or you're laying in bed in the morning, and you're going back and forth in your head, should I go to Meir? Should I get up for Vasikin? Back and forth in your head. Oh my God, I'm so tired, but I really want to go.
Mamish love to sing.
Or there's a desire that comes our way and we're struggling with it. Or there's anger that comes our way and we're struggling with it. We're going back and forth in our head. And when he goes, that is no different than studying Ambaya and Rava. So when you're on the couch and it's 7 or 8 o'clock at night and you're wiped and you didn't daven Ma'ariv yet, and on your head you say, you know what, I'd love to daven Ma'ariv. And you go back, but I'm so tired. You'll forgive me, God. And back and forth and back and forth. That is learning Gemara like as if you were sitting in a shir learning a blood Gemara. It's a Abaya Barava arguing.
I think I'm Mamasham in Kailul all day these days.
So you're mamish and kailul all day. So exactly. He goes, then what do? I'm just finishing off that thought from Shia. He goes, after that learning all the time, when you're sitting on the couch, when you're laying in bed and you go back and forth, you're learning already. You put a tefillah in. One of the Rabbeinu's whole things is, I remember last year when I was in Uman, one of the big signs they had up on one of the buildings.
Louis Shiner saves lives.
Also,
No way.
no.
Massive signs.
But
It's one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my life.
but massive signs that said Lasses mitoyre tefillah. One of the Rebbe's big things was to make from Torah tefillah, which is chiddush. Nobody else talks this language. There's Torah and there's tefillah. And he said everything we do in Torah make a tefillah out of it. That's why we have Likkutei Tefillahs, which makes tefillahs out of every one of these Torahs and makes it into the most heart-wrenching and gut-wrenching tefillahs. It takes these concepts, and we'll do it. I did it this past Shabbos on Torah Lamed, the Likkutei Tefillah on it. It's like 5-6 pages long of tefillah. But it takes all these concepts and brings it in. Hashem, help me acquire this strength of this entire thing. The entire thing, he brings in it tefillah. So Reb Shia would say, you're sitting there learning, now put in a tefillah, and the tefillah should say, simply, Hashem, I'm in the middle of learning. I'd like to go to Ma'ariv. I need your help. You're here with me right now. So either we're going or we're not. Because I'm not any less with you if I'm not going. So are we going or are we not going? God. You know, right? We tend to think if I go, I'm connected. If I don't go, there's a level of disconnect. The tefillah is saying to Hashem, I'm not disconnected either which way. It's up to us. Are we going?
It's not a we.
Of course it's a we.
How's it a we?
We're in this together.
We're all in
Hashem, I'm here
this
with
together.
you. I'm tired.
But
I'm
this
not
is your
in the
time.
mood.
Hashem wants to know if you're going to go to Mara.
No. This
Hashem's
is
going to be there anyways.
us. This is us. Are we going? Hashem, I'm putting in a tefillah that I'd love to go. I'm going back and forth in my head, but I'm putting in a tefillah. Meir wants one else about it. I just bought one. You saw it?
I want one.
For sure. Honey dish.
I love it.
It's gorgeous.
I want it. I thought it
I
was
just
natural.
ordered one. I'll put these as an ashtray.
I want one.
It's a good one.
Look at that, Shrek.
Order it for men?
From Ben, yeah.
Then I want one.
Told you.
Hey, coming up.
Thank
Coming right up.
Um,
Right up.
Anyway, and then when you find yourself at Ma'ariv, when you find yourself, you're in the middle of having this conversation, in the middle of this conversation, you find yourself at Ma'ariv, that means you had a geula.
Uh-huh.
That means there's geula.
What if I found myself, I'm like, I know it's Marv, I didn't follow Marv, and then was like, I'm not going to sleep. Well, I know it's Marv.
It's okay.
Is that cool? Or is it like,
Again,
I
if-
see Gula, but it's just like, I don't wanna go
Geula
there.
is when you end up doing what you desire to do in your deepest desire, and when
No,
your body
it can't
didn't,
be.
and when your body didn't get in your way. When you run a marathon and you go, your body doesn't get in your way, and it allows you to go from the start to the end. That's geula. When you can get, when your body doesn't get in your way.
Body getting in the way is strippers and cocaine. That's my body getting in
No.
the way. Because
If that's the thing that you need, that's your body desires
when
and
you find
can't.
yourself in that place.
No, when the body doesn't get in the way means your
God's
soul
wonderland.
knows where it needs to get to. The body gets in the way all day, every day. The soul knows where it needs to get to. The soul knew in your last Gilgal, and the soul knows in this Gilgal
Oh, my soul feels
where it
very
needs
confused.
to go. The body
It's a wonderland.
says, not so fast. I have my own thing. Geula is when you get from point A to point B without the body in the way. Means the soul went from where it wanted to get to. Without a body, without the body getting in the way.
Soul
I
would
don't know
go
if my
where
body
it
is
The
would
soul
go.
would go on its own to shine as the Dav Ma'ariv if
The
it
soul
could.
doesn't say,
But it
oh,
can't
I'm
because
lazy
the body's
because
tired.
I weigh a lot or because I went here or that I
But-
did this.
So when I lay in bed, then like the thought of I think that matter comes off, right? That's the soul.
Not I didn't Dav Ma'ariv yet. That's
I need to
guilty.
daven Ma'ariv.
I would love to daven Ma'ariv. I'm laying here on the couch. I'm dead tired, but Hashem, my soul desires to daven Ma'ariv.
Right.
But I'm super tired. But I'm not anymore. If I fall asleep right now, Shalom, I'm falling asleep with you like I'm davening Ma'ariv. I'm not disconnected if I don't end up by Ma'ariv. I'm with you. I'm having the discussion with you. You're right here with me.
Yeah, because I have this,
It's not I'm feeling guilty. I didn't daven Ma'ariv yet. I have to daven Ma'ariv. No.
That is my
I want my neshama wants to daven Ma'ariv. My neshama wants to go. My neshama would go on its own if it could, but it never needs feet to get there. And the body is very, very tired. And Hashem, I'm putting a tefillah in right now. The back and forth is Torah, is Abaya V'Rava. You're learning like you're in Koil the whole day. The back and forth of Hashem, I want to go, I'm so tired, I want to go in. That you're learning Gemara like anything else. It's a regular shtickle Gemara. What's the difference? Abaya V'Rava or me and my guy? Oto Dava. You're learning a shtickle Gemara.
It's It's not the
Where's the
literal.
room for two?
What? You're learning. You're back and forth in your head. You're physically learning in your head.
Fighting with yourself, where's mine?
Not with yourself. You're not fighting. You're fighting.
But why did you say
between
before
the
that
stomach
when you
and
find
your
yourself in
Get out of
shul,
the
that that's
gut.
the
Be
way?
specific.
So
Be
then-
What if you
specific.
found yourself in the bathroom jerking off the porn? Are you also
In other
specific?
words,
Of course you are.
Yeah.
So that's what
But
I'm
that's
saying.
not where your neshama desire to. That's where your
How do you know?
dragged you to.
That's the thing.
Your
Is my
neshama
body one of that?
desires. Your body is not the desire. That's what we're taught, right? There's the neshama and the guf. The guf has its things,
Right.
and the neshama has its desires.
Okay.
We know deep down what our neshama's desires are. It's not cocaine and strippers as many times as you say.
How do you know? How do you know?
Your neshama
Because you're-
has never,
it's a
because you
spiritual
never,
being. You have
there's
two
nobody
things you
that
need to
ever
feel.
felt the feeling of complete,
That doesn't-
that they were complete.
There's
Complete.
two
What's
things
that
you
with
need
the
to
Ellie?
feed. You need to feed
The-
your guf and you need to feed your neshama.
Nobody has, you're asking me, how do you know that cocaine and strippers is not my neshama asking me for it, correct?
Yeah, let's say.
Okay. Neshama's feelings are the feeling of completion. One thing, 100% complete. When I'm having an experience, a neshama experience, I am 100% in the neshama experience.
Okay.
It is impossible for anybody to think that going into cocaine and strippers, they're in it without anything that's telling them this is something I shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Right? So they could be having a great time, but they're not in it. It's only half-assed because the other side of the coin, they know this doesn't feel right
So then
for
what
me.
was
One
the-
thing. So we know that cocaine and strippers is not a complete feeling. Nobody was ever in it and said, I feel amazing.
But what's the part that
my
compels you
clarity.
for that? What's pulling you for that?
So what's it? So it's not neshama, right? Neshama's pulling me to fullness of experience.
Always and forever.
Always and forever. MS is fullness of experience. It's fullness. It's not doing things half-assed. We've all done things where were a lot of fun, but we didn't feel full while doing them, right?
When somebody goes from strippers and cocaine, every 10 minutes you need to take another bump. When you're having a showman experience, you take the first shot and you roll.
Okay,
Of
so now
course.
what's the question? Okay.
Well, I guess first of all, I don't even know if there's a specific question in my head. There's all of this Torah that I think we've been talking about for
Are you
so long.
just being the
Kicking my wrist.
opposite or there's a...
No. But like we're talking about you. It started before because you mentioned the battle, the struggle. Then I think you said that if you find yourself in shul, then you had your.
Then you
geula.
had geula,
So what if the
that
person
triggered
didn't
you.
find the shul? What if that person ended up finding himself in the other way?
He's not found
That
it.
was what my question
Then he
was.
was. Then he
And then-
stayed with Hashem, with him on the
So
couch.
what was pulling him towards that? What was
His
pulling him towards the
body.
other thing? And strippers and cocaine is just an extreme. Let's just say it's the fact that I didn't want to open the door for that lady either. Something that your intuition doesn't sit right with.
Either
like
your
that's-
ego or your physical body and laziness is usually the two things. It's usually either ego
If
driven.
the woman was hot and you
Which
didn't
is
open
the
the door
same
for her,
as
you're not opening the door for her
yourself
because you
alive.
thought she's
Keep
too hot.
yourself- yeah.
You're gonna think that I'm gonna do this,
Yeah,
so I'm
there
not
you
gonna
go,
open the
just
door
being-
for her. And she's an ugly woman.
Yeah,
Like,
persona.
I don't wanna open the door for her. Ugly
Protecting
woman. Why am I
that
wasting
persona.
time?
Yeah.
It's
When
that's
you're
ego driven.
reactive.
That's ego driven. Does that make
The
sense?
breast of a guy that gives out
That
the
part, if
boom.
you're choosing to do
Yeah.
that.
Your laziness is stemmed from something.
So if you're then
He gets out, goes from
I don't want to open your mouth.
America.
Either she's not hot enough
So
or
then what are you not opening the door for?
I don't know. That's the other thing. That is that
When
your
there's
intuition
something-
crying out for like your godliness, your
Again,
neshama?
our
Like, just
neshama,
wanting to do
and
what's right?
I'll take it. We'll take it a step
How
further.
does somebody know what's right?
We'll take it a step
Somebody who never
further.
No, now
Dominant.
you're being dumb. Now you're being dumb.
Let's not attack its intelligence.
Now you're not saying something.
No such thing as dumb. No such thing as dumb.
Okay, I'll tell you. My
Okay, I got your back. Don't let them pull you dumb. You're a very smart
I
guy.
was in Chabad 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Chabad makes a big thing on Yom Kippur in Crown Plaza. He had like 1,000 people there, Rabbi Gans. And I walk in there with my wife right before Kol Nidre, and he's speaking. And he stops and he finishes his speech and he says, and now my friend Sishu just walked in, will lead us in a meditation for the last 10 minutes as we go into Kol Nidre.
Right.
I'm like, what? And my wife says, I've never seen you turn a shade of purple like that in my life. Anyway, and I stay sitting, and I'm the last seat in the back corner. And no, some of the people know who I am for the neighborhood, but most people, 90%.
Not from there, they drove.
They all drove.
They drove.
They all drove. And they all turned around, and I stayed sitting. And I said, Hashem, you just put this in my lap. I have no idea what to do with it. But let's go. Hashem Sfasai Tiftach, and let's go. And all we said was, so we're not going to do meditation. But should you find over the next 25 hours, 30 to 90 seconds of time that you'd like to meditate during davening, if you want to quiet your brain and do something during davening, let's talk about what one could meditate about on Yom Kippur as we go in, if you find yourself 30 to 60, 90 seconds. Close your eyes and try to picture that picture-perfect place where everything you can ever imagine, that fullest feeling that you can ever dream of, whether it's the lake house with your wife and children and grandchildren, that whole scene. Use your childhood imagination and draw up that picture perfect where you will feel the most complete with everything. There won't be anything in you that feels incomplete. Everything. Who your friends are, your relationship with your wife, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with who you surround yourself with, where you live, just take it all and then stop feeling it. Feel the wind in your face, feel the sand between your toes, feel it. Feel that feeling, experience that feeling, create that imagination for 30 seconds, 10 seconds. Just get as close to that as you can. It's hard to get there, but push yourself if you can for literally 30 seconds to create that screenshot. And then when you get some type of fuzzy picture, go click and just take a screenshot of it. And create a still image now in your brain of what that looked like, felt like. What's that thing? I said, from that second on, every movement and action and thought and speech that we do is either towards that picture or away from that picture. That picture is you. That's self. That's your neshama in fullness. And I can promise you, every single person here sitting in this room, that fullness includes all of Torah mitzvahs. Because that's who he is. Because our neshama, that's who he is. Whether you understand it or not, it does. Because that fullness of self is only full when we can have great experiences. We can have fun experiences. We can have amazing. But they're not always full. Right? If your kids are waiting for you at home and you're in a club, or your wife is out, or you know that your brother would be very disappointed because you're doing this, so you're not fully in it. If there's somebody waiting for you somewhere, you're not in the experience. If you're not fully present, inviting all the allies into the experience, the only way to do that, the guideline to be able to experience that is Torah mitzvahs. And it's ingrained in us, it's in our DNA. So whoever it is imagining themselves in that picture, it includes all of Torah mitzvahs. Whatever that means at that moment.
It all includes your Torah mitzvahs. Like
No.
a tribe in the jungle, an 18-year-old tribesman who never saw internet and the phone, and he takes an ayahuasca trip or any psychedelic drug, his little brain will only make sense of his little world in his little way.
True.
And now you're telling me to paint my picture. If I'm a son of a person who owns yachts and helicopters and choppers, I'm thinking a big life, baby.
Where you going?
But if somebody else...
I'm talking about you.
Right, so then...
Wait,
like that's
we're talking about you. Talking about your neshama. Wait, if somebody. Where you going?
Because you're asking me to make a snapshot.
Of your life.
Right.
Of what
And
you
my
want
snapshot
for
would be
your
different than his snapshot.
Obviously.
Very good.
All we're
course it
saying
is.
is the one
Why
quality.
is that?
Because that's just my little brain.
We're asking.
Why is that godliness? Why
You're
is that my soul?
you're
Why is it, where's that?
that where that
I know
lies.
none
That,
of that.
that's where God lives. That's where God is. Your godliness is not the things that make you altruistic, that makes you the big Ellie.
Right.
Your godliness is what allows you to shine, no matter what it is, whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought, that allows you to play into your life. So the same way you and I could have added 1 + 1 = 2. When you make that thought, when you make that decision that you're like, oh, it's going to be 2, that's where your godly life. Not that because we could come to the same conclusion.
But that's true. And this is where Reuben's thing also get out of cheder. Is that like you only think you're good when you're doing what they said you should do, but when you're in your bad, that's not what you count.
You're still looking for
and that's also the part
in
we were
this case,
before.
you're
If
looking
I'm
for
not by
someone to tell you
shul,
what to do.
if I'm not by shul, and after that battle over your head, if I didn't make it a shul, it's not the rule.
That's why you like to come to our
It's not
shul,
the rule, but doesn't make me any disconnection. There is a much.
Look at the pleasure God gave you.
Exactly.
Use that energy. Yeah, exactly.
Is the ability to connect. Is the ability to connect. And you personally, we all have connected, we all breathe the same air. We all are living in the same world. So yes, I step
I'll be watching.
I throw, my soda here, but really, the turtle's gonna get the straw and it's gonna change the world. Stuff, right? So like, how can one straw change the world? We'll saw the secret and pull it out. Then it stops straws, right? Right? Like one little action. Could have an effect. You don't know. Believe that in power. Believe that we have power. The world's telling you.
When you have everything, when you wake up, you have bank account looks slow, the wife yelled at me, the kids are jumping on my, everything's telling you the right things for you in that day. That's godliness. Anyone else have that same decision to make here's the dollar, come take the dollar from me, don't take the dollar from me. It's irrelevant what you do. If you don't take the dollar, you did the right thing. There's no case where you gave the guy the dollar when he asked you. There's no case where the man said that open your hand. It's acknowledging that everything needs sustenance, even me, and except for me. At that same time. Not to get
So you want to give a whole
Not comments, the whole thing. The whole thing. I'm only going to work to be able to get the tzedakah.
billions of dollars. Billions. Yeah, he made it. He made a wall that was see-through, and then he made it not see-through.
He sold a company.
Are you leaving today